hyped.
Hello and welcome to the show.
Is it my turn to do the...
Yeah.
Cool. There you go.
Hi.
Hey everyone. Episode 2.
Woo!
Or 3, however we want to call it. It's our second book review episode and we are doing...
Not So Lucky
by
Trillina Pucci. I probably said that wrong, but go with it.
Friend.
Just when you're Googling her name, just sound it out. Spell it out how I sounded it. So it only came out, what day? We're like halfway through July. It came out the start of July. It was the 3rd of July.
Yes.
Because I heard she was bringing out a book and I had previously read Tangled in Tinsel, which is like in my top 5 favorite books.
Yeah,
like,
I had no fucking clue that Tangled in Tinsel was the book that comes before this one until like 5 minutes before we hit record, and like my mind was blown.
Yeah.
Not that I read Tangled in Tinsel, but I've definitely heard things about it, and it is on my TBR this Christmas to read. So I'm a little bit shocked that Tangled in Tinsel is the first book before Not So Lucky.
But like you can read it without it. It's just like, so Tangled in Tinsel is about a chick, the FMC is Samantha.
Mm-hmm.
In Not So Lucky, it is about, what is her name? Fuck.
I know, you only just finished reading it.
I remember the best friend's name is Millie.
She must have been a really memorable character. Does she have a pet name?
Eleanor, because they call her Ellisnor in the book.
Wow.
So Eleanor and Samantha are sisters. That's how it's linked.
Mm-hmm.
So Tangled in Tinsel, whatever, we'll talk about that in another episode. It's a great book, hands down, I love it. But Not So Lucky, I was so excited for this.
Mm-hmm.
So excited. It literally starts off what happens in Vegas.
Like a stays in Vegas kind of thing, or
Well, it clearly
follows you home?
It follows her home, but kind of. She gets married
Woo, that definitely
in
doesn't
an
stay
Elvis
in
chapel
Hell yeah,
to a guy
girlfriend.
she meets.
Hell
While she
yeah.
is super drunk, he is super drunk. They make a bet and they get married and suffer the repercussions the next day.
I love this.
It literally says, the start of the description of the book, ask me what happens in Vegas. What happens in Vegas? Let me tell you. What happens is that you get to make out with strangers and pee in a parking lot drunk. Tie the knot with a guy you just met, then allegedly participate in depraved group activities with him and his friends in a hotel suite.
So this isn't just with one guy?
Nah, there's 3 guys. 3 holes.
Did not know that. When you said that you were reading Not So Lucky, I did not realise it was about tying the knot.
Yeah.
I did not realise it was a Vegas kind of wedding-ish.
You thought it was about nodding, didn't you?
I thought it was about nodding.
Filthy whore.
I'm in way too many monster romance groups on Facebook that when you said Not So Lucky, my brain went straight to knotting.
It's not. They just tie the knot. And there's it's just porn in a book. It's amazing. Wrote a few notes about it.
Okay. Give me your spoiler-free review on this book. Convince me to read it.
Okay, number 1, the pun in the name. Not So Lucky.
Okay, fair.
She's tying the knot.
Yep.
That's what pulled me in.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, the description of the book. Like, she not only ties a knot with this guy and obviously has a hardcore sex night with him, it's more of a gangbang, honestly. It's these 2 friends, they call them Tweedledee and Tweedledum, which is hilarious. Okay. They actually have names.
Is that like the girls' 2 friends, or are they the guys' 2 friends?
No, it's all dicks. So many dicks.
No, but I meant like the Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Which friend group is this coming from?
They're his friends.
Okay.
They tag team her or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to just understand what's happening.
Okay, so like there's this chick.
Yep.
She starts flirting with this guy named Crew.
Mm-hmm.
They're blind drunk. Banter back and forth. The sexual tension is just like back and forth banter, you know, taking the piss out of each other, betting random things like, you won't do that, and then they do it. He's trying to get in her pants, she's trying to get laid. He's got his, yeah.
Is that how they get married? Like, I bet you won't do this. And then, okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. She's like, I'm not going to sleep with you. Like, you've got to win me over. I could sleep with anyone at this party. And he's just like, yeah, well, would they marry you? And they get married. And the two mates, Nate and TJ, they're there as well. They're flirting. They're trying to get in her pants too. TJ ends up dressing up as Elvis and is the, like, officiary of the wedding.
Does that even make the wedding official?
I don't know. It's Vegas.
It's
I don't know how it
works.
works. Which is amazing because he doesn't look like Elvis. He's Ringer, I think, in the book, with a beard.
Okay, now I'm just picturing Ronald McDonald.
They're all football players as well. Like, Crew, the main guy, is a quarterback. And the other two are his running backs, I think they're called. I don't really understand American football. Yeah, maybe.
I don't understand American football either. I barely understand Australian football.
Yeah. It's out of this world, like the spice in this book.
Okay, if you were going to recommend this book to, I guess, any kind of reader, what kind of reader would enjoy? Does that make sense?
It's fun. It's a fun read. So anyone really. Like,
any triggers?
I mean,
I suppose when you say anyone, it would be anyone that enjoys reading smart.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. But it's also funny. Like, she just does so well with her characters when she writes them. Like, it's the same with Tangled and Tinsel. They're female leads that will just take the piss. Like,
relatable female
leads? And they're funny. Like, she's fucking hilarious, this FMC. I want to be her friend.
Okay.
But also live her life.
So you want to get married to a random dude in Vegas? Sorry, Liam. Watch out. Or maybe this is how I should tell Liam that this is how he's going to get you to marry him.
Yes, get me drunk, take me to Vegas, get Elvis.
Any trigger warnings?
I don't think so, really. It's just, there's a lot of sex.
Okay. What kind of sex? Obviously, from what I hear, male, female?
Yes. There's also not too many of multiple partner scenes. There's only maybe 2 or 3. The rest, Crew, the main guy, kind of hugs her to himself because, they're married. Obviously, feelings and stuff. And, man, she's mine. And the other guys they're there for fun. They just wanted to join along, and he wanted to watch his girl get tag team, I guess.
So obviously no issues with sharing?
Yeah, he likes that.
Okay, wait, so is this where we pause and say now we're going to get a little bit spoilery in our discussion?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, go on.
I just also wanted to say, when I was reading this book, I was reading a spy scene and my partner was next to me and he's just like, what are you reading? And I was like, do you want me to read it to you? And he was like, yeah, go for it. And so I read him this scene and it was one of the tamest scenes in the book. His reaction was shook. He was like, and as I kept reading, his face was just like,
okay, so for anybody not watching the YouTube, Christy, please describe the facial expression.
He was shook, and he just get like from 1 to 100 so
like,
quick.
Open mouth, fish, gaping,
like
speechless.
You're reading that, and that was tame. Like I was like, yeah, it's hot, like, but it's not that bad, and it wasn't even. I think it was just her and the main guy. It was just a sex scene. It was, I remember. Oh, it was saucy too. Another thing to note is Crew is so filthy with his mouth. Like the stuff that comes out of his mouth, I was reading and I was like, oh my God.
Just like a genius with the dirty talk.
Yeah. He's definitely daddy. Like she calls him daddy in it. Like,
Okay, so from my understanding, it's essentially a book about this girl who goes to Vegas with a group of friends or just a friend?
She goes with her friend.
Okay, with a friend. She meets this guy, they banter and drink all night to the point they end up getting married.
Mm-hmm.
And then they, spend the rest of the weekend just basically fucking around in a hotel?
No, they wake up the next day, realise what they've done.
Uh-huh. Does she have a ring?
Yeah.
Like an actual legit ring, or is it some kind of
It's like
pop
some
rock?
cheesy ring from like a chapel that you buy.
Like they got it from a vending machine,
Yeah.
kind of put the coin and spin it around, pops out.
Yeah, wake up the next day, his publicist is like, what the fuck have you done? They go to the judge to try and annul the wedding, saying, you know, I was too drunk to recall. But she posted on her Instagram story them getting married, and you could tell they're clearly still of sound mind. Obviously drunk. But so the judge is just like, no, you have to stay married for 30 days and stay in the state.
So they actually have to stay in Vegas.
Yeah.
Or where is Vegas in America? No,
It's like Nevada, I think. Yeah,
we have great
Las Vegas,
geography.
Nevada. Well, yeah, so she ends up having to stay with him for 30 days until they can annul the marriage. And they're both not happy about this. Forced proximity. And they make more bets. He makes a bet with her friends that he can get her to scream his name. And
is she aware of that bet?
Yeah, and each day she doesn't say it, the friends get $1,000. So by the end, they'll get $30,000.
That's pretty decent.
And
I want to be that friend.
yeah, and so she's just like, fuck it, let's fuck, I don't care. Like, so they do, and he keeps trying to get her to scream his name, and she ain't gonna scream his name. She'll scream everything else but his name.
Okay, what do you mean by everything else? Does she get cheeky with it? Does she
Yeah.
scream somebody else's name?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, girlfriend.
Yeah, like the other guys, which is hilarious because they just take the piss. It's brilliant.
It sounds really fun.
It's a really fun read. And it's just well written. It's just really good. It's only 300 and something pages.
You could read that in a day.
Literally, I think I read it in 2, and that was because I had work in between. And I still read it on my lunch breaks, which was dangerous, reading it at work. But it was good. It was good. Any questions?
No, I guess I want to hear more spoilery stuff now. Give me the details. So yeah, for anybody listening, if you don't want to get spoiled, pause here, come back after you've read it. It, to me, sounds like an absolutely fantastic book. I'm going to add it to my TBR and maybe read it in December after I read Tangled in Tinsel.
So far away.
Even though they're kind of connected but not connected,
Yeah.
I want to do Tangled in Tinsel first.
Another thing to say though, I liked Tangled in Tinsel more than this one.
Ooh.
But I loved this one. Don't get me wrong, this one is fucking brilliant. But Tangled in Tinsel is a whole nother level.
All right.
That one is fucking filthy.
Amazing. Convinced. Absolutely convinced. What would you rate? What would you rate this book?
I still rate it 11 out of 10.
Fuck yeah, that's decent.
It's such a good read.
Okay,
And you
I'm
want to know
convinced.
what's going to happen. Like, it's not boring at all. You're on the edge of your seat the whole time. You're like, what's going to happen? Are they going to end up liking each other? Are they going to end it? Like, because they're also both, I don't want a relationship. Both of them. They're both set in their careers. They're strong, independent man and woman. They don't need no man or
What does
woman.
she do as a career?
She owns a salon.
Well, that's nice and different.
Yeah.
Can I tell you how sick I am of reading about a female main character that's either a writer or a nurse? That I'm just bored with that.
Yeah. Well, this is different.
Okay,
She's
I'm here for
a salon owner with her best friend, which is so sweet. And yeah, they're both like, I don't want anything. Like, I just want a fuck buddy, essentially.
Nice. We're all for female empowerment when it comes to sexuality.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so if you don't want to get spoiled, pause here, come back. If not, Christy, give us the details.
I highlighted scenes on Goodreads.
Stop. Open Goodreads. I need to know what scenes you highlighted. All right, take me through these highlighted scenes.
These are spoilers. Okay, so this is a scene with all three guys. So Nate and TJ are the other two guys that are just there for fun.
Yeah, his friends.
Yeah,
Crew's friends?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it goes, Nate, you can't skip out on 4th of July. It's time to eat barbecue and pussy. Who are you? Get here. TJ goes, come on, dickhead. What are you going to do? Wash your hair? Say affirmations in the fucking mirror? Get your fucking ass down here. Nate, I'm enough. I love me. TJ, 5 inches is average. Nate, nobody chokes, but they like it. TJ, they aren't faking. Women are just silent when they come. Nate, we'll do this all night. Don't make us use our powers for evil. Get down here.
Stop.
Because Crew is somewhere else. I think he's training or something, and those guys are hanging out with her.
But you know what? What I take away from that as well is a healthy dose of masculinity and men that are comfortable with their bodies and sexuality.
Yes, and I fucking love that.
And wait, go back. That's at the 11% mark as well.
Yeah, like that's it. Very soon. There's also, so they name each other names in their phones. So Crew names her That Girl I Married.
Okay, yeah, fair. Yeah. She's not going to forget that.
Yeah, so he get a text from her saying, no, you listen. There's nothing sweeter than meeting your soulmate and finding out he likes it when his friends fuck you too. Now I know why the Lord gave me 1 heart and 3 holes.
Go for it!
Like, she is fucking brilliant.
Confident. So, okay, when she's saying that, had they already had, like, their threesome gangbang kind of moment? Foursome?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. What else did you highlight?
Oh, here we go. You'll love this for the Twilighters. But I swear I feel like it's been imprinted on me. Oh. Like I'm Jacob and his cock is my Renesmee.
Oh!
Like, how do you come up with this?
Alright, I'm reading it just for the Twilight reference.
So many little references. Another one. Why didn't you get your own when I asked if you wanted one? She smirks. Why are you acting like sharing isn't your favorite thing? Like... that mouth on her.
Amazing. I love the sass. What were they talking about though?
Tacos.
Here I was thinking, is it talking about getting a separate dick or dildo or something? Tacos. Cool. Next one. Tell me.
Because the smile on my face can probably be seen from space. All caused by my favourite naughty duo, Tweedle Hung and Tweedle Back Facial, who are currently standing in the entry.
What?
So instead of Tweedledee and Tweedledum, Tweedle Hung and Tweedle Back Facial. Because he comes on her back. Do you get it?
Yep, I get it.
And she knows whose cock owns her. I don't know why I highlighted it. I think just because
it was funny in the context of it. Which, how far through the book was that?
That was like 75%. Oh, so this is also 75%. I think this was a part of it. Okay. Why would I punish her? This little slut and me, we understand each other. He's talking to her pussy, by the way.
Oh, not even her.
He's eating her out at this moment. Crew brings the back of my legs to his chest, holding them there. My stems flanking his face, and he rams inside of me over and over. Our skin slaps each time his dick glides out and in my wet pussy, and he grinds his words out. She comes when I tell her. He thrusts harder. She takes what I give her. Crew slaps my tit, making me gasp. And she knows whose cock owns her. He's talking about her vagina. Like...
I'm clapping, that's beautiful.
King of dirty words. And that's tame. That's tame compared to some of the scenes that are in there.
You know what? But here's the thing. Reading a really good sex scene as well that doesn't make you cringe or question the positions, that you're just like, yes, this is a well-written sex scene. Yeah. I get that vibe already just from your, like, one paragraph highlighted note.
Yeah.
Love it.
And none of it's too far-fetched. Like, you're reading, like, you know how sometimes you read them and you're like, how are they even in that position?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound real.
Or comfortable.
Yeah. But this book, this is good. Like, there is a scene, one of my favorite scenes, where he sits on the kitchen island bench and eats her out.
Ugh.
Until she comes.
I love that.
Takes her to the room, fucks her. And just before he's about to come, he then tells her to get down on her knees and swallow. Yes. Thank you. I'm deceased.
I'm convinced. I am convinced to read this book. Was it fast-paced, would you say?
Yeah.
More plot or character-driven?
Ooh, character-driven maybe?
Yeah.
There's a lot of talking. Like, there's a lot of talking between her and her friends. Like texts and stuff. But it works. It's not too much.
It's not awkward reading the text messages.
It's good banter. And you kind of need that for the book because it's such a banter-driven book.
Triggers?
I don't think there's any triggers. Unless you don't want to hear dirty talk. And, like, he's a bit rough with her and, you know, the bed.
Okay, that's fair. I'm just going to open up, I'm going to open up Amazon and see if they mention any triggers.
Yes, content warnings is if you're under the age of 18, do not read this book.
That's a pretty fair content warning in my opinion. So I've just read a little from the author piece, and she's gone, "Dear reader, this book is written with the intention of giving an every woman experience. That means the heroine isn't described. I did this on purpose to allow anyone reading the chance to picture themselves or someone who looks like them. I strive to keep her as vague as possible, so enjoy because this one's for you and you and you and you."
I forgot about that.
That's
she
kinda
does
cool.
that for Tangled and Tinsel as well. So instead of, like, I don't know, what's a descriptive word? I pushed back my long wavy hair and my skinny waist fit into the jeans.
And like I have green eyes or something like
no
that.
descriptions. You don't know what this person looks like. You picture who you want to picture.
Okay,
you can picture yourself.
Super interesting.
Which is amazing. Not a lot of authors are like that. And it's great because not everyone is the same.
But do you know, fun fact, Stephanie Meyer actually did that with Twilight as well. They made her as vague or it wasn't really that they left Bella's description as vague. It was more they left her personality fairly empty so that you could picture yourself in her shoes.
Kristen Stewart took that to heart.
You can expect inside Not So Lucky. Not So Lucky, yeah. Group fun, football hotties, banter, drunk married in Vegas, male, female, HEA. What does HEA stand for?
Happily ever after.
Oh, yeah. That's sweet.
It has it's a cute ending. It's really cute.
Yeah, well, we're in the spoiler version now. Tell us more.
I don't want to ruin the book.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
And look, if anybody didn't want to get spoiled, they would have stopped listening.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Yeah. I need to know how it ends.
So they obviously catch feelings for each other near the end of the book. They're both like, no, I don't want to. Or he doesn't like me like that. She doesn't like me like that.
So they're kind of like denying their feelings towards one another.
Yeah. And the publicist or lawyer or something ends up getting out of the deal, like arguing with the judge.
Oh, like the marriage?
For the annulment.
Yeah.
So instead of going for 30 days, he gets it finished 4 days earlier.
Oh.
He takes the contracts to the main character. She sees them and she runs away, essentially. She signs the papers, leaves them in his apartment and leaves. Nothing. No goodbye.
Okay.
Nothing. Doesn't fight. And he doesn't either. He just lets her go because he thinks that's what she wants and vice versa.
Oh my god. I really feel like that's stupid.
It's so dumb. I was like, what the fuck?
Because I'm just like hearing you talk about these characters and the banter between them and even just their chemistry.
For each other.
Mm-hmm.
They're both miserable. He has his first game at a new team coming up. So he's just focusing on that. She's focusing on the opening of her salon. And both of their friends on either side are just like, you guys are fucking dumb.
Okay, so if they've got this annulment, she leaves, he lets her go, how do they come back together?
So the friends kind of intervene, I guess. And
his friends or her friends?
both.
Ooh.
And like the sister of her partners intervene a little bit, and they're just like, why don't one of you just reach out? You're both miserable. Maybe you could just work it out. You can still have your own independent careers and be in a relationship. So he's like, well, if she wants me, she can come get me. I'm playing this game. There's tickets for it at the booth. She gets let known on the opening of her salon night that it's like an hour into the game or something, like halfway through the game. And she's like, fuck it, why not? So she races there.
So she ditches her salon opening.
Yeah, yep. The friend takes care of it for her while she runs to the football stadium.
Runs?
Oh, I don't think she physically runs, but
she gets like an Uber
she's
or
in
something.
heels and a dress, like cocktail dress. I doubt she runs, but yeah, they get there.
Fades to black when she ends up at the stadium.
Yeah, he's playing the game. They're like running into the field or something, and she's calling out his name, and he's not listening. He can't hear her. Like, he's on the middle of a football stadium. She's on the sideline barrier thing. Yeah. So she starts calling out, nothing. The friend joins in, starts calling out, nothing. He
like
can't
her
hear her.
Friend?
Yeah, another friend.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
not the one that
I'm
she
sorry,
ditched at
I'm
like
so
the
bad at
salon
this.
opening.
No, different one.
Because I was like, did they leave the people there?
And then the crowd joins in, and they're all chanting, crew, 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 crew. And so he turns around, and he's like, what's going on? He can't see from that far away. So she climbs the barrier and she runs onto the stadium and tackles him.
In her like cocktail dress.
Yes!
Yes!
Like, fuck, yes, which I love, because how many times do you actually see the girl fighting for the guy? It's usually like the guy making the grand gesture.
Yes.
In this one, it's her. She runs across the stadium. Security are chasing her. She's legging it. The crowd's going wild. She tackles him and he's like, what? And she's just like, they kiss and they confess their love, and it's cute. And happily ever after, they end up getting actual married. That's the epilogue in the chapel, and TJ is the officiary in the Elvis costume again, and it's so sweet.
Okay.
It's a good little...
I'm convinced. You've convinced
It's a good
me.
little tying of the knot.
That was stupidly funny and I loved it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm convinced to read it. You gave it an 11 out of 10. You said it was only 300 or so pages.
It's
Would you
easy.
do that like a day, 2 days,
Easy.
depending on like your reading
You
page?
can read it in a night.
How can people access this book?
So I read it on Amazon Unlimited on my phone. So I've already got a subscription, so it was free. But I think it's only like $5 something if you purchase it. $5.96
to purchase it on
exact.
Kindle if you don't have Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah.
If you want a paperback version, Amazon has it for $31.31, which we are not about, but we did a search around, and Barnes and Noble have it for $18.99, which isn't too bad for a paperback. It's less than $20.
Yeah. And it, like, we've got to keep in mind, it is a new book. Like, it's just been released. It might go down in price.
Sales.
But also, like, support your author. Like, her writing is
it.
brilliant. I'm excited to read more of her books. She's got like a mafia series, which I'm about.
Yes.
Don't know.
Is it connected to this one or a different universe?
Different universe. These were just like fun little books that she did.
I love that.
Yeah.
So this mafia one, do you know much about it, or just that she has a mafia series?
That's all I know. All I know is it came out before these. And if it's anything like these books, I'm gonna eat them up.
Other series, there's Heaven and Hell Duet. Can I just say, I absolutely love the term duet when talking about two books. Yes. It's not a duology, it's a duet, and that just makes my heart sing. Sorry, I said sin because one of her other series is called A Sinful Series. Yeah, so she's got a Sinful series, Heaven and Hell duet, and then Holidates, which is the Tangled in Tinsel
And Not So Lucky.
And something about Hillcrest Prep.
Oh yeah, that's like I did read into it. It's like a college, high school bully prep romance. You know what everyone's writing at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably still read it. Give it a go.
Well, that's positive that you want to read other things from this author.
Yeah, that says a lot.
Anything else you want to say? Read it.
Just read it.
And yeah, and of course, if you do, please contact us. Let us know on Instagram, TikTok.
Thoughts.
Yeah.
Favorite scenes.
Would love to hear.
I would love to discuss in detail every single scene in that book. Just saying. You should hurry up and read it.
Okay, I'll get there, but maybe it's gonna be like December before I do. Tangled in Tinsel's on the Christmas TBR.
It's Christmas in July. It's July right now. You need to read it.
You're not gonna convince me right now when I've got Hunting Adeline to read next.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I'll stop. I'll wait till she finishes
That's
that.
it. We're happy? We're happy with
done.
that? We're done?
We got
Thank
this.
you. We'll see you next time.
Bye.